So if the, let's see, adjustment of manual shutter speed inclination. Simple, just need a digital multimeter and an RP resistance selector, model RS1. I have maybe one of those, so that's cool. So the adjustment procedure is simple, obviously. I'm reading the Minolta repair manual, service manual, however you want to describe it, so just in case you're curious what I'm going to attempt to do here to adjust the shutter speeds on this. Okay, so adjustment procedure. Step 1, voltage measurement and standard. Solder the measuring lead wires to terminal spudge of IC and schmedge of IC. There's just blotches of ink, so I don't know what they're saying. That's a good start. Set the shutter dial to 1 second. Measure the voltage with the metering switch on. Okay, then there's a diagram. Ambient temp should be 25 plus or minus 2.5 degrees Celsius. Apply the standard values mentioned below according to ambient temperatures during the measurement. So temperatures, something degrees Celsius is standard value 354 plus minus 4, 360 plus minus, okay. The voltage is outside the standard value. Adjust it according to the following procedures. There we go. Adjustment, remove R_19. If there are 2, remove only 1 and solder the measuring lead wires. Connect the RP resistor selector while measuring the voltage as described in section 1. Turn the RP resistor selector so that the voltage becomes the standard value. If the voltage is not at the standard value with the selected resistance, choose a resistance closer to those mentioned in the table below and check the voltage with it. If R_19 is enough, use 2. In this case, they must be parallelly connected, as shown in figure 2. Okay, measuring instrument, shutter tester, model S-2101. Adjustment procedure, figure 1. Okay, so we've got that selection there. And, oh no, wait a minute, no. Okay. These hybrid cameras really fuck with me sometimes, because on one hand, there's mechanical components to it, obviously, but on the other hand, it's still like primarily run and operated electronically. So on one of the adjustments, it's saying here's how you can adjust it vis-a-vis electronically. However, they don't make this shit anymore. Like, there's no whatever resistance selector module thing they're talking about. That just is not a thing that I can really even find. So, you know, kind of SOL on that. Let me even see if I can see what it looks like. RP resistance. That's a good start. I looked it up and it was like, do you mean RP Renaissance? No, I did not actually. Resistance selector. Okay, yep, here we go. I'm getting resistant band selectors, transmitter, and then gym stuff. So yeah, I think it's safe to say that this is not going to be anything easy. The hope is, more generally, that I can at least run the tests with the multimeter, and then potentially at that point be able to, I guess, figure it out. The thing I do want to point out about this as well is that it's a really good manual, so I'm happy about that. So let's just take the top off and then we'll see what we can see. I forgot how much I don't enjoy taking these apart. I mean, like, I remembered that I didn't enjoy the experience at all, but I forgot the depths of which I did not enjoy it. It's a fun little reminder. Hey, do you remember how much this sucks? Oh yeah, thank you. One of these days, I don't know, one of these days I'll do more things that I enjoy. Okay, so that is off there as it should be. There is. So, Minolta, like every other camera, as far as I can tell, except for Pentax, anything that sits on the advanced column here is lefty-loosey, as it should be. Like I said, Pentax is opposite, so keep that in mind when you're doing your thing. Okay, I'm gonna set it to P because that's what it looks like it's set at there. And then there's this inner ring right here. Just loosen that a little bit. Yeah, big old spring underneath this, so be wary of that. It's a weird position for the shutter button. I'm just realizing that. Okay, and then I think it's just unscrewing it now. Everything is just falling over because gravity hates me. I was watching this, where did my screwdriver go? It just disappeared into the ether. I was watching this promo video for like the new Halo game, and it was this lady, she was like trying to create a grapple hook thing. She was in this like very just clean, minimalized space lab thing, and I was just the most jealous I think I've ever been in my entire life. Like it was like very flat concrete structures with like plants and like very soft natural lighting. It was nice. It was really nice. I was like, oh, that's so cool. That's so much nicer than sitting here listening to my cat snore behind me and struggling to find any sort of room or sanity. So I think now, moving forward, I'm going to give up on the camera repairs and solely invest in trying to create a grapple hook. That way I can get that kind of good funding. I can just build a sick lab in space. But to be honest, I'm not like too inclined to go to space. That's the thing now. Everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna go to space. But call me crazy. I think we should kind of, I don't know, take care of the planet that we have here before burning all of its resources trying to geoform another planet. You know, maybe take care of the planet that we have first. Pretty wild idea if you ask me, but I'm a bit of a sensationalist like that. All right. And yeah, here we go. This is it. This is what dreams are made of. Nightmares primarily, but still. You can't see very clearly because this is a very wide angle, but let me get some coffee first before it cools down. Yeah, that's good shit. Okay. So. Just turn the soldering iron as a preemptive measure. So as you can see, the AE1 program has 3 wires that lead to the top. This has 34. And the electronics in this are just super nice to look at. To me, it looks like just baby vomit in here. But yeah, that'll be the caption. Minolta X-700, baby vomit in a camera. Just kidding. It's a pretty good rig, okay? I'll be honest. Like, if they work, they're great. But this one is not working, so we need to figure out why that is. Here is an issue right there. Almost had that fall out. That is the locking mechanism, or the unlocking mechanism for the shutter speed dial here. So what I'm assuming we need to do now is remove this selector or set it to 1. I need to check the temperature in here, but I don't know what Celsius is because American. let me see, what was that on? 107. Yes, okay. So let us see, what is 25 degrees Celsius to American freedom temperatures? American freedom degrees. 25 Celsius to Fahrenheit. What is that? 77. Okay. Alright, that's good to know. Let's see what the temperature in Mi Casa is, because I also do need to develop film today too. And I know that's very temperamental. Yeah, it is 72 in here. That's interesting. So base temperature level, it says, is 20 degrees Celsius. Let's see what that is, because that's probably a little bit closer to what it is in here. Okay, so it's about 68 degrees. Oh, man. So we'll just go off of the measurements for that, I'm guessing. Why are you doing this to me? I'm just ripping out this thing. Okay, fantastic. Solder the lead wires of the IC to what the fucking hell? Okay, so we need to set the shutter speed dial to 1 second. Trying to think if there's anything really worth talking about. I mean, so I watched the fights last night while I was repairing stuff. And then also while I wasn't repairing stuff, I just started watching the fights because, you know, every now and again you need a little bit of free time. Otherwise, my brain just gets way too fried on camera repair things. So took a little bit of the night off, watched the fights. And to be honest, UFC 272, meh. Very lukewarm about. I think it would have been a better, like, fight night, if anything. But I digress. It's not up to me. And again, I don't think there's any percentage of my audience who really is tuning in for the fight talk, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that. But here we have it at 1 second. And let's see. So we're looking at this lead terminal here and this here. Need to make sure that it's set on, which I believe it is. It is now. It should be. Let's double check. This is just so. That's a good sign. What am I missing here? Jesus. Okay, there we go. I guess that was just, I had to pray a little bit. Okay, I'm just gonna wind it because that's just who I am. It's just what I do. Alright, so now we need to set this to, I don't think this digital multimeter is a type 2508 or a 3407 or a 2507, but it is the type that I have, so that's what we will do. And let's see, solder the measuring lead wires. I'm not going to do that, I'll just hold them of terminal something of IC. Okay. I believe what we're doing is we're testing for resistance potentially. Standard is 360 before. It's okay. This is when it would be helpful when I knew what I was doing, because I'm just fucking guessing here. So that is that. Okay, maybe that's what we need to do. Let's see. Hopefully this is correct, because otherwise I'm gonna have to Google a lot more stuff. And, you know, I like to reserve my Sundays for not this. Okay, so we're going for this first terminal here to this terminal there. And we have nothing. So that's great. That's grand. Good. I really was hoping that that would fall like that. Okay. Next up, we will switch those. Not that I think it matters at all. Okay. So that's pretty much all. We got a flash and it was like 1600 something. So I'm going to assume that was an outlier. Alright, after a quick bout of Google, I think maybe we have closed in on what potentially could be the solution. Maybe. See if I can crank that. Nope. Okay. That was my last thought, was maybe that would be good. Because now basically what it's saying is I need to increase the resistance in... Where's that at? Outputs to here. Or something. Connect the RP resistance selector and while measuring the voltage as described in section 1. Yeah, so I don't have a resistance selector thing because I don't do this kind of thing often, if you can't tell. But let me, I guess, Google it. Because here's the thing. There is the next thing, which goes to the manual shutter speed adjustment, which is more in line with if I had all the speeds working, and then from there I'm registering and like testing, okay, this is like, you know, a second off or a millisecond off or something like that, then like fine-tuning that. That's what this next section's for, but this is strictly digital issue, or electrical issue, being that all of the shutter speeds, all the manual shutter speeds, are firing at 1 second, so they're not registering at the proper setting here, which would make sense that it would be the resistance and certain components that are affecting that, but I have no way of adjusting that resistance without this resistance selector. So I'm gonna go deep dive, just dive into Google, see if I can find a resistance selector, because I also just feel like that'd be a useful thing to have. It might help me with my other issues I've been having that we might talk about later, but I will see, and I will get back to you. Boom. Okay. Nightmare fuel. Upon further inspection, hear me out. I think, this is gonna sound so dumb. I don't even know if this is right, to be completely honest, but I was looking at the board because there's no way I can, you know, create resistance to it because, one, the numbers that are like, oh, here's, why is that open? I don't know, like, the proper resistors to even buy. Oh, this is a little tight there. So I wouldn't know, one, what I would need, two, where to put them, and three, if that would work on all the different speeds. So, that being said, I was looking at the board just to see if there was anything I missed, if there was like some gunk that maybe I could clean out that was causing a short. What I found, and again, this might be completely incorrect, and you may not even be able to see it at all. Look closely. It looks like there's a... Oh my goodness. That right there. It's focusing on my thumb. Don't be doing that. Okay, right there. I think that looks as though it is some kind of fleckling that might have caused some disruption. So, I think what I'll do is just clean the board off because I'm kind of out of options here in terms of like what I can actually accomplish. And it doesn't hurt to, you know, clean a little bit. It's just kind of, I thought that was kind of weird. And I'm hoping, beyond all hope, that that was the issue, because one, that would make me look super cool and like, wow, he really pays attention to the details. And two, I would have this camera done and I wouldn't have to work on one for the foreseeable future. Although, it's a bit of a catch-22 because if I say, well, yeah, I've worked on and repaired a X-700, people are like, oh, so you can fix mine. And I'm like, no. I did one though. That was enough. So we will just kind of put this back together. Yeah. So yeah, obviously this is the kind of content you turn in for. I don't know what's wrong. Maybe I can fix it. Maybe I can't. Who knows? We'll find out. Maybe that worked. Maybe it didn't. Who knows? We'll find out. It's just grade A style content here. Now, I don't remember. I think it went on... I'm pretty sure it went on this way. But honestly, who knows? I'll probably watch the footage and have to remember because you no sé. Alternatively, so I've got that X-570, and I was thinking at the very least, potentially it could just be a simple matter of the contacts being bad underneath the shutter speed dial before I even knew anything about what I was talking about. Not that I do know now, but you know, anyway. Before all that, I had the idea of there we go. Nice. Initially, I had it in mind that because like I said, sometimes this happens with the A1 where the contacts will be a little bit faulty. There's a contact brush that sits under the shutter speed dial and all that stuff. So I had thought that worst comes to worst, you know, maybe just replacing that would do. But then I'm looking at the X570 and that's a totally different shutter speed selector dial because there's only I think it's aperture priority. So wouldn't have worked. Good thing I didn't rely on that. Secondly, wasn't even the issue. So, oh, come on, just do the thing. Come in, do it. This camera straight up sucks. You know, I don't like this. I'm beginning to think I don't like this camera. Come on, do it. Do it, you know you want to. Probably be helpful if it was on. Lord have mercy on my soul. Okay, now this will not work, but let's see. Oh my god. 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 I cannot believe that. This is the most amazed I've ever been with my abilities in my entire life. This is literally the first time I've ever fixed an X-700 in any meaningful way. Well, cool. Yeah, I'll put this all back together then. It was literally just that thing then. That's literally all it was. God, I love cameras so much. It was either that or just removing the contacts and cleaning around it. Honestly, who knows? But I'm just glad that it wasn't anything super crazy. But that does make me feel like moving forward. Well, okay, we'll talk about this real quick. Because moving forward, as I continue this business and as I, you know, and I'm still figuring things out. I never want to get to a place in life or in this business where I'm just like, I know it all. Like, can't surprise me. Like, every day I learn something new. And I want to keep that trend growing and going. And I'm thinking that the best way to do that is to continue to keep an open mind, obviously, but then also like looking into new approaches to repairs and new tools and things to implement, if that makes sense. So something like, you know, a resistance selector thing. I do think I need that for the AMI Super. Gradually, as things continue to improve, I hope to add to my repertoire of repair knowledge. That way I can share with you and those watching. and I won't sound like as much of a moron, because that's really the ultimate goal, is just to not sound stupid. if I could avoid that, I'd be happy. But cool, yeah, I'm just gonna toss this together then, and maybe even take a victory lap. That makes me so happy. So yeah, that was it. That was repairing this Minolta X-700. I am just beside myself with amazement. So, cool beans. All right, well, thank you for watching. Make sure to like the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave a comment down below. And cool, catch you on the next one.